Okay, good morning, folks. This is the Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission. This is our weekly meeting. It is Wednesday, September 29th, 2021, 9:30 in the morning. We will proceed with the roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Bogue, Commissioner Gonzalez,
Here.
Commissioner Hackett, Commissioner McGowan,
Here.
Commissioner Mesner,
Here.
Commissioner Nanjapa,
Here.
Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 5 out of 7 commissioners present.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, everybody. We have a very short agenda this morning, so we will proceed with it. We start with general public comment. We had 2 people signed up, Sandra Dugan and Shayna Oliver. I do see that Ms. Dugan is in the Zoom meeting, so if we could elevate her to the panel, we can hear from her first. And as we're doing that, I would also note that we had written public comment. There was 1, and it was from Heidi Leithwood. So thank you, Ms. Leithwood, for joining us with written public comment.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Dugan, we can hear you.
Thank you.
And you have 3 minutes. I don't think we have our timer up, but we'll just try to keep you within that time slot. So go ahead.
I'll definitely keep it brief. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. My name is Sandra Dugan. I am an Erie resident that was disproportionately affected by fracking last year, and I now work with Colorado Rising as an outreach coordinator. I'm here to remind you that the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, the IPCC, has found that the emissions from fossil fuels are the dominant cause of global warming. In 2018, 89% of global CO2 emissions came from the fossil fuel industry. How can we justify permitting hundreds of wells in the midst of a climate crisis, especially as the EPA is moving us from serious to severe ozone non-attainment? We'll have to deal with these emissions for decades. We're at a crossroads here, and it is important that you start acting on behalf of public health and safety now, not after the next rulemaking session, not next year. There will always be a good excuse to permit new wells, but the reality is that doing so is inherently harmful and short-sighted. Let's put people first now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dugan, for your public testimony. Thank you for taking time out of your day and appearing with us. We now have Ms. Shayna Oliver as the second and last public commenter, and I see that she just recently joined us, so we'll elevate her to a panelist, and we will hear from Ms. Oliver for 3 minutes. Ms. Oliver, I see that you're a panelist. Do you want to unmute yourself? Oh, and we can see you too. Good morning.
Thank you. My name is Shayna Oliver, and I'm a Northeast community member of Denver and field organizer with Equa Madres and Moms Clean Air Force, a national organization of moms, dads, and caregivers united in fighting for all children's right to breathe and play in clean air. Colorado is 10th worst for state for poor air quality according to the State of Air Report. And we have over 37,000 members in Colorado looking up to leadership to mitigate better practices on oil and gas, and as well to reduce or improve our air quality. Most importantly, I am an Indigenous mother of 4. We are the descendants of the genocide known as the Indian Removal Act, and known to as the Long Walk of the Navajo. These type of policy violations have run a historic impact on Indigenous people, community, health, wealth, and environmental well-being. As we sit on the Arapaho, Cheyenne, Ute, and 45 other tribal nations' ancestral lands. And scientists have known for decades that air pollution is harmful to health. And this is especially true for vulnerable populations, such as older adults, people with underlying health conditions, communities of color, low-income communities, pregnant women, and children. So the COGCC must ensure that communities' right to environmental justice, as amended by 1266 Colorado law protecting communities disproportionately impacted by environmentally harmful operations, projects, and proposed agendas. If a company cannot afford to operate safely and meet all of community safety protections of public and environment, companies cannot be allowed to operate by law and should not be given permits. So we as moms are looking to Colorado leaders, agencies to take action on climate crisis by moving away from dirty fossil fuels and increasing assurance of cleanup of oil and gas operations on new and existing wells. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Oliver. Appreciate that statement, and thank you for being with us. At this point, I believe that we are through public comment. Moving down our agenda, I don't think we have a report from the director, but if she shows up, then maybe we do. With that, we move to consent agenda. We have one hearing officer recommendation. Do any commissioners have any questions concerning consent agenda? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of consent agenda signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. We are now to the last item on our commissioner agenda, which is any commissioner comments. Looking around the room, seeing if anybody wants to have a comment. Commissioner Messner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a reminder that on Tuesday, October 5th, will be the water presentation, the informational session. So that's an all-day presentation. I apologize if it causes anyone any problems, but I did have to schedule that starting at 9 a.m. Instead of 9:30. But I think it's going to be really good. The agenda's posted, I think, now on the website. If not, it'll be posted shortly with all the different speakers. But looking forward to that on Tuesday.
Thanks. Thanks, John, and thanks for that reminder so that our stakeholders are aware of it. It's posted on our agenda, and that way people can know that if they're interested in the topics, they can join in with us. Any further commissioner comments? All right, well, I promised this was going to be a short one. It is indeed a short one. We are now concluded. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Great, we're adjourned. Go back to your other business.